Okay, buckle up because today's deep dive is going to throw us headfirst into the future of work. You guys sent in a mountain of articles, reports, even some leaked memos, and you know what ties it all together? AI. It's changing how we work, and it's happening crazy fast.
And it's not just like robots coming for our jobs.
Right.
This is about rethinking how work even works.
Exactly. So remember those times you're stuck talking to a chatbot just to get a refund for like a pair of socks? Imagine that, but it's your job interview.
Ugh, don't even joke. But seriously, venture capitalist Tomas Tungus, he's actually predicting that. He says get ready for autonomous agents. Basically, AI sales reps become the norm.
He's probably not wrong, and yeah, those AI agents could mean things are way more efficient. But here's the thing, Tungus brings up what happens to all the humans, the workers. Like,
Yeah.
do we actually end up with more, say, more influence or...
Or do we just become, as he puts it, cogs in the machine? Like, remember when car manufacturing got all automated? Sure, it's efficient. But did it make the actual worker, the person on the line, any more important? Not really.
Good point. So that's something to think about as AI starts doing more and more complex stuff. And it gets even wilder, all right? There's this article from TechCrunch about an AI tool called MetaView, and get this, it basically sits in on your job interview, takes notes, analyzes every word you say, how you say it, everything.
I read about that. It's not just observing either. This MetaView thing, it hooks into your calendar, your video calls. It's like having this silent AI judge just sizing you up through the whole interview.
Seriously, I need a minute to process that. Okay, so we've got AI screening resumes, doing interviews, and now analyzing them too. It makes you wonder, who are we actually working for anymore? A human boss or an algorithm?
It's a really good question, and it makes you think about transparency, right?
Yeah.
If these algorithms are calling the shots about who gets hired, who gets promoted, even performance reviews, how much say do human managers really have?
And how is an employee supposed to, like, argue with a system they don't even understand?
Exactly. It's like that feeling of being, like we talked about in issue #55, a battery chicken.
Yeah.
Stuck in this system, no control, just going through the motions.
Totally. And that analogy, by the way, really seems to be hitting a nerve with a lot of people. This fear of just being another cog in the machine, no control, no say. It's a big deal as AI seeps into our work lives more and more.
Definitely. And, some people, they see all this and think, jackpot. Like that Accenture earnings call you sent, they were basically popping champagne.
Right. Raking it in, saying AI consulting is the next big thing, even bigger than cloud computing was.
What's interesting is how focused Accenture is on being the first. Like, it's not enough to just get the tech. They want to be the first ones to figure out how to actually use it, build stuff with it. That's where they see the advantage.
And they're putting their money where their mouth is, right? Spending billions on AI, hiring all the top people. They are all in on this AI future. Meanwhile, across the pond, seems like the UK is singing a different tune. Right, so Accenture's celebrating, but over in the UK, this think tank, IPPR, they put out this stark warning, 8 million jobs gone. Just in the UK. And get this, they're saying this could happen, like, pretty soon. Not some sci-fi robots take over thing.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not just about, factory workers being replaced by robots on an assembly line. The IPPR report, they're talking white-collar jobs too. Customer service, data entry, even some financial analyst roles, they're saying, are at risk.
8 million jobs, that is a huge chunk of the workforce. That's like everyone I went to high school with.
It's definitely something to think about. But here's the thing, and this is interesting. The UK, they actually have a ton of AI expertise.
Mm.
But businesses there, they've been slow to actually use it, to adopt the tech. Compare that to the US, where it's like everyone's drinking the AI Kool-Aid. It's wild how much culture can impact like how we use technology.
Totally. So you've got Accenture going all in, the UK pumping the brakes a bit, and the rest of us just trying to figure it out. And speaking of figuring it out, did you see that stat from Stability AI? Every 6 minutes, a new AI model drops. Every 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like the Cambrian explosion of AI or something. All this innovation, which is amazing, but, and I think this is important, more options, it doesn't always mean better. For companies trying to figure out what to even use, it's overwhelming.
It's like walking to an ice cream shop with a million flavors. You just freeze up.
Exactly. And it's not even just about picking the model, right? There's all these different approaches.
Yeah.
Prompt engineering, fine-tuning, RAG.NES. Even the experts are arguing about which is best.
Okay, so for those of us who don't speak fluent AI, can you, like, break this down? What even is RA?
Okay, so imagine you've got this like super smart AI assistant, Prompt engineering, that's you giving it really specific instructions to get what you need, like a recipe.
Got it. Okay.
Fine-tuning, on the other hand, that's like you're training your AI assistant for a very specific task. You're feeding it tons of data, like maybe sourdough bread recipes, so it gets really good at one particular thing.
Makes
Now, RAGI, Retrieval Augmented Generation, this is where it gets cool. Imagine giving your AI assistant access to this massive library, okay? Cookbooks, everything. Now it can go and pull information from all those sources in real time to answer your questions, do stuff for you.
So instead of just knowing what it knows, our RAG lets the AI go out and find new info to use.
Yep. And that has huge implications for all kinds of fields: research, customer service, even creative stuff like writing. Imagine an AI that can pull up relevant studies, answer questions with totally up-to-date info, even write you a movie script based on real events.
See, that's the stuff that makes my head spin a little. So much potential, but also a lot to wrap your head around.
Totally. And I think this is why it's important to not get too caught up in the hype,
Mm.
Focus on the fundamentals. Understand what AI is good at, what it's not good at. Then look at the problems you're trying to solve and see if AI can help with that.
Don't chase the hype, focus on what you need. I like that.
Yeah.
Solid advice. But even if you feel like you've got the tech side figured out, there's a whole other thing to consider: the human side of this whole AI revolution. And no one embodies that quite like Tyler Perry. All right, so put yourself in Tyler Perry's shoes for a second. You're about to drop, what, millions probably to make your studio even bigger, right? And bam! OpenAI shows off Sora.
Like showing the printing press to like a monk who's been hand copying manuscripts his whole life. Talk about a wake-up call, right?
Right. And the stories I read, Perry was just floored by what Sora could do. Write entire scenes from just a couple lines of text. That's like everything changes stuff.
And here's what I find fascinating. Perry's reaction, it shows you both sides of AI. On the one hand, he sees the potential like creative freedom, efficiency. The sky's the limit. But then he also slams the brakes on this huge studio expansion. You can tell he's worried about jobs, about whole departments suddenly not being needed.
It's that opportunity cost thing from like Econ 101, but on a gigantic scale. So where does that leave us? Are we all going to be battery chickens in Tyler Perry's AI studio, just pecking away at our keyboards, hoping we don't get replaced?
Well, the future's always being written, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's safe to say things are changing faster and faster. What we think of as a valuable skill today, it might not even be a thing tomorrow.
So what are we supposed to do? Run out and learn to, like, code with robots or something?
It's less about any one skill and more about, I think, being able to adapt. To learn something, then unlearn it, then learn something new. That's going to be key. Staying curious, being okay with change, and being open to whatever comes next.
Basically, get comfortable being a little uncomfortable,
Yeah.
right? Push yourself. And hey, is Tyler Perry, as successful as he is, if he's rethinking his whole plan because of AI, it's a sign that none of us can just sit back and relax.
Exactly. The people who thrive, they're going to be the ones who can adapt, who can change along with all this new tech.
Well said. So there you have it, a peek into the future of work, where AI isn't just some tool, it's like changing the rules of the game. How we work, how we create, everything.
And as we figure out this whole new world, the most powerful thing we have, it's not some algorithm, it's us. Our creativity, our ability to adapt, that's what's going to make all the difference.
Love it. If you were Tyler Perry, what would you do? Hit the brakes or go all in on AI filmmaking? Even more importantly, what opportunities and challenges do you see brewing in your own line of work? Something to think about as you navigate your own career journey. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep.